Hello everyone, this is Saili Salkar from Sanjeevani Junior College, Department of Bifocal Electronics. In the previous YouTube lectures, we have started with the filters and we have also seen the first type of filter, that was capacitor input filter. We have learned its circuit diagram, how it works, and what are the input output waveforms that we have already seen. So now we are going to start with the second type of filter, that is the inductor filter. So now, as these filters are nothing but they are the passive type of filter, that is we are using our LNC components to build these filters, that is why they are called as passive filters. Initially, first filter was the capacitor filter, in which we have connected a capacitor in parallel with the load RL. Now we are going to study the second type of filter, that is inductor filter. It has two names, that is it is also called as choke filter, or it is also called as L filter, because inductor is represented by a symbol L. So it can be called as inductor input filter, L input filter, or choke input filter. So here is a particular circuit diagram for this type of filter. So you can see here the supply from rectifier comes, that is we know after rectifier we are connecting the filter block, and now in our case the filter is inductor filter. So we are going to take input from rectifier and give it to the filter. Now this L is nothing but it represents our filter. This filter is connected in series to the output of rectifier. Previously, if you remember, in case of capacitor filter, we have connected capacitor in parallel to the rectifier, but now the inductor here is connected in series to the output of rectifier, and then after that inductor is again connected in series to the load RL, and across RL we are going to get the output voltage VL. These are the input output waveforms, or the waveforms which shows the condition without filter and the condition with the choke filter. So now to learn this working of inductor filter, you have to again remember the basic property of inductor, that we know the basic property of inductor, that inductor opposes any change in the flow of current through it. That is, initially when the inductor starts operating, it takes the input current, builds the magnetic field around it, and then that magnetic field opposes any change in the incoming current. That is, if the current afterwards increases or decreases, that magnetic field does not allow this current to affect its output. This is a basic property of inductor, that is inductor opposes any change in the flow of current. And second, one more basic property of inductor is that when inductor operates, it easily passes DC through it, and it blocks AC signal. How it blocks AC signal? Because its property is to oppose any change in the flow of current, and any change in the flow of current occurs when we give AC signal to the input of the inductor. Now the inductor, we have to remember these two property, and then you will understand the working of the inductor filter. First property is that inductor opposes any change in the flow of current, and second property is that inductor allows, or inductor easily passes DC signal through it, and it blocks AC signal. That is, it does not allow the change in the AC signal to flow through it. So this property we are going to use to learn the working of the inductor input filter. Now what happens when the output of rectifier comes over here across the inductor? We know that rectifier, mostly the types of rectifiers which are used in power supply are the full wave rectifier. So when the output of full wave rectifier, which is nothing but this input signal, this is nothing but the output of full wave rectifier. It may be bridge wave rectifier, or it may be the center tapped rectifier. So when the output of rectifier, that is this waveform signals, comes across the inductor, these waveform signals are continuously changing its value. These waveform signals are continuously changing its value. When it comes across the inductor, inductor takes this input signal and develops the magnetic field around itself. So now, after once the magnetic field is developed around inductor, inductor does not allow any change in this signal to affect its output. That is, the constant magnetic field is now built across the inductor. Now what happens? What does inductor do over here? Once it builds the magnetic field, after that when the output of rectifier starts coming into inductor, that inductor does not allow this AC signal to pass through it because of its basic property. It does not allow the AC signal to pass through it, whereas whatever DC signals are present at the output of rectifier, because we know the output of rectifier is pulsating DC, that is AC as well as DC. So whatever AC signals are present at the output of rectifier, inductor allows those signal to pass through it easily and then gives us that DC signal to the load RL, and that particular DC signal is nothing but now our output voltage signal, which is denoted by VL. So what does inductor has done over here? It has opposed the change in the AC signal which are coming from the output of rectifier, and it has easily bypassed the DC signal through it and given it to the load RL. Thus at the output, that is across the load RL, we get only the DC signal. So in the waveform you can clearly see that these waveforms are nothing but the waveforms across the rectifier, that is these are the waveforms coming at the output of rectifier. When this waveform starts passing through the inductor develops the magnetic field, opposes the changes in this waveform. Changes in these waveforms are nothing but these waveforms goes from 0 to maximum, again from maximum to 0. These are the changes in the level of the waveform. The inductor opposes these changes, this kind of changes, and passes only the DC signal present at the output of rectifier and gives it to the load RL. So across the load RL we get this type of signal, this small waveform which you can see over here. That waveform we are getting with choke filter, that is when we connect the inductor filter in series to the output of rectifier, we get this type of waveform. Now this waveform is nothing but it is nearly equal to the DC signal. This waveform is nothing but nearly equal to the DC signal. That is now inductor has reduced this large waveform to this small waveform. That is now AC signal, which was too much large at the output of rectifier, is now reduced to a very small signal by using the series inductor filter. So this is how the inductor works and tries to give us the pure DC signal at its output and make the signal DC. So this was how the inductor works in the power supply, or this was how the inductor filter helps us to give the pure DC output. In other terms, we can say that inductor filter or the inductor helps us to give the smooth output, that is the inductor smoothens the output of the rectifier. So whatever I have explained is written in the theory over here. So now this was all about the inductor type of filter. Now there are two filters which we are going to learn, that is LC filter and RC filter. So in LC and RC filter we are going to combine two passive components together. Okay, so now third type of filter is nothing but LC filter. So this LC filter and RC filter, both type of filters are also called as pi type of filter, because now you can see over here the circuit diagram is given of LC filter. This circuit diagram represents the structure of a letter pi. This circuit diagram represents the structure like a letter pi. That is why LC and RC type of filter are called as pi filter. We have to connect them in a pi type connection. So now this is a circuit diagram of the LC filter, where we have input capacitor C1, we have a series inductor L and the output capacitor C2, which is then given in parallel to the load R, which is then connected in parallel to the load R. So now how this filter works or how this filter operates, that we are going to learn. So here as we have learned in all the filters, the output from rectifier is taken and then it acts as an input to the filter. So similarly in this type of filter also, from rectifier we have to take output which will act as an input to this type of filter. This C, L and C2 makes a pi type structure, and this entire all three components are called as our LC filter. So now we have to combine the properties of C filter and L filter together, and then we can understand the working of this type of filter. What was the property of capacitor filter? That is, it bypasses AC and blocks DC. So from rectifier, whatever the output is coming, that output is given to this filter first, that C1 we can say. So this capacitor C1 bypasses all the AC signal to the ground and blocks the DC signal. So in this kind of filter, most of the portion of filtering or the major part of filtering action is done by this C1 filter only. Whatever DC is blocked by this capacitor, So that DC is then utilized by the or then given to the inductor filter while the discharging of the capacitor. We know when we connect the capacitor in parallel to the output of rectifier, capacitor charges and discharges. When it charges from the input path, and while discharging it gives us gives that DC output to this output component. So what C capacitor is going to do, it is going to take the output from rectifier, it is going to bypass AC of that rectifier output to the ground, and it is going to block DC. Whatever DC it is blocked, while the discharging of capacitor, that DC will be released from the capacitor and will be given to this inductor. So basic property of inductor now only we have seen, that is inductor takes the or inductor bypasses the DC signal and blocks the AC. So inductor takes the DC signal and gives to the capacitor C2. Now capacitor C2 again block that DC signal and passes the AC signal to the ground, and that DC signal which is blocked by the capacitor C2 is used while discharging and it is given to the load R. So in this fashion what has happened, when we are using the individual filter, that is C filter alone and L filter alone, at that time the filtering action is less, but when we combine these two filters, that is L filter and C filter, at that time the filtering action takes place to the very high level, that is we can filter our input signal coming from the rectifier to a very high level. This is the reason why we combine the two filters together, that is to increase our amount of filtration. So this is how the LC filter works, that is C filter gives the AC to the ground, blocks the DC, that DC is then given to L while discharging, that L passes that DC to the C2 again, C2 again blocks that DC and give that DC to the R while discharging. So whatever I have explained is given in the theory part over here. This all the things, that is explanation is written over here. You can refer for your understanding this also. So now last type of filter which is remained is nothing but RC filter. So now there are some disadvantages related to the LC filter, that is when we are using LC filter we require the large size of inductor. If we use the large size of inductors for filtration, the cost of our circuit increases, and that is why due to this we can replace that L in the LC filter by using a simple resistor. We can replace that L by a simple resistor, and that filter which is constructed after replacing L by R is called an RC type of filter. This type of filter is also called as a pi filter because the structure or its circuit look like a letter pi. So now here also the input and output waveforms are given. Now only by using the series inductor, we instead of using series inductor we are going to use the series type of resistor. So now what we have to do over here, we have to set the resistor such that, or we have to use the value of resistor such that it gives us the filtration, by the amount which we require. Now when the output of rectifier, which is this type of waveform, comes to the input of RC filter, it is first given to C1. C1 bypasses AC to the ground and blocks the DC. Now when the C1 blocks DC and when it starts, this happens while the charging of C1. Now when the C1 starts to discharge, the C1 starts to discharge, the C1 gives its DC signal or stored DC signal to the resistor R, or its stored DC signal is given to the resistor R. So this DC signal when passing through the R, or when this DC signal passes through the R, what happens, the rectifier output which is coming over here, that is also given to the R1. Means the rectifier gives its output to this C1 as well as it gives its output to this R1. So what happens, the R1 is set to such a value that the R1 should be set to such a value that it should be a very high value. The R1 we should take of very high value. As the R1 will be of high value, it will provide, or there will be more voltage dropped across R1. We know if we set the resistor, or if we take the resistor of high value, that resistor will have high voltage drop. Okay. So if we set this of high value, the signal from rectifier which are coming across R1 will be, this voltage of the signal will be dropped very much across the R1. The voltage of the signal will be dropped very much across the R1. That is, this signal will be dropped, or its voltage value will be reduced to a very high extent due to the high value of R1, and the remaining portion of this signal is then given to the capacitor C2. This capacitor C2 blocks the AC portion of this signal, bypasses the AC portion of this signal and blocks the DC portion only, and then it gives the DC portion to the R1, and then we get this kind of waveform at the output of the RC filter. So now what is the thing, in RC filter we can set the value of R1 as per our requirement. The more the value of R1, the more voltage will be dropped over here, which is coming from the output of rectifier, and the more reduced or the more DC like signal we will get at the output, that is at the load R1. So this is how we can use the RC filter, that is instead of LC we can use RC filter, which reduces the cost of our circuit, and also it is advantageous, that is we can set the value of R as per requirement and use this kind of a filter. So now there is one advantage related to the LC and RC filter. If we are getting this kind of a signal from this circuit diagram, if this circuit diagram gives us the output of this signal, now if this signal is also too large, or if this signal we feel that is also containing more amount of AC, what we can do, we have to just connect one more RC filter or one more stage of such circuit at the output over here. At this point we can connect one more stage of this kind of circuit. So it will become two-stage RC filter. It will become two-stage RC filter, and this signal will now go to the second stage, and it will reduce to a more level when it comes at the output of the second stage. That is, we can use multiple RC or LC filters to get more and more pure DC signal. This is how we can get a pure DC signal in case of RC and LC filters. So this was all about the 4 types of filters which are there in our syllabus. So we have covered all the 4 types of filters over here. Thank you.